It's about decorations, a tree, and presents, and wearing Santa hats. Of course, wearing Santa hats. Did he switch the lights on?
He said he did.
It's coming on. Slowly.
Slowly but surely. No, in all seriousness, we want to talk about the real meaning of Christmas today. And I have some fun props to demonstrate that. I'm going to wear the Santa hat until the end is too hot. Then I'll take it off. Okay, the real meaning of Christmas. I want to do this presentation differently than we've done other ones in the past here. Because I think one of the real meanings of Christmas is about relationship and family and getting to know one another. But I don't want to talk to you about that. I want you to experience it. So I want everyone to find a partner, preferably the person right next to you, because then you don't have to get up. But if you don't have somebody next to you, that could be your partner, then it'd be good to move so you had somebody next to you that would be your partner. That's all right. So like there's 2 rows of 3, and that's not going to work. Great, thank you. Okay, one of my favorite things to do during the holidays with Christmas was that we'd get together as a family, and my cousin Nick, who was older than my brother and I, would always come. And what he would do is he would tell us stories the whole time of like what happened all year. And he was the best storyteller. He was. And we'd just sit around and be like enraptured by the tales of his life, his adventures in college before we were in college, or out in the professional world. And so as I talk about the different themes, the real meaning of Christmas, what I want you guys to do is to tell each other a story from your life. Tell your partner a story from your life that you can relate to the theme a little bit. But before we do that and talk about these good things, I have a treat for you. The return of some YouTube videos that are going to demonstrate to you what the real meaning of Christmas isn't. You guys ready? Okay, here we go. You guys can...
Thank you, Reg. Big sales in a stampede. Shoppers pushed and shoved their way through Black Friday today. One of the busiest shopping days of the year, of course. The mad dash into a Walmart store knocked shoppers to the ground near Grand Rapids, Michigan, at 5 in the morning. Despite several people falling to the ground, shoppers charged ahead, fixated on doorbuster deals. A girl helping a pregnant woman get up had to be taken away by ambulance. Another woman who was injured was taken to the hospital. Her husband blamed the store for a lack of security.
Okay. Video number 1. So what do you think, I don't want to like judge these people or generalize their lives, but what are they emphasizing? What are they valuing? What are they about here? Material things and presents. Exactly. This guy is literally pushing them over and holding them on the ground. It's insane. Holding them there? Yeah, he keeps, every time that one woman tries to stand up, he like pushes her back to the ground. I don't know, maybe so that like his wife can get a present for half price or whatever. Save like $30. I don't know, apparently it was really important. Okay. Here's another one.
What did that Claire give you show everybody?
This one's hard to get.
I don't want to. Why don't you show everybody what Aunt Clara gave you?
Aunt Clara had for years labored under the delusion that I was not only perpetually 4 years old, but also a girl.
She just always gives you the nicest things about her. Oh, oh, isn't that sweet? Well, go upstairs and try it on him. I don't want to. Go upstairs right now and try on that present. She went to all that trouble to make it. Now, go on. Ralphie, we're waiting. Oh, come on, Mom. Right now.
I just hope the flick within her spot, as the word of this humiliation, could easily make a Warren G. Harding school a veritable hell.
Oh, isn't that cute? That is the most precious thing I've ever seen in my life.
You look like a deranged Easter bunny.
Doesn't
It does, too. It looks like a pink nightmare. Are you happy wearing that? Do you want to take it off? You tell the kid to take it off.
All right, you lowly baronet, Clara, just go on and take it off.
Take it off!
The final clip is a little bit more auditory. It's this guy ranting about Christmas. And it connects to the last one.
Here, just click the circle once.
Just move the circle.
Yeah.
Rantings on Christmas, and someone gives you a gift, and maybe they're a friend, you know, maybe just an acquaintance, and they send you this perfectly wrapped present, and you open it up, and you're just like, yes, I wonder what it is, and it's like something that you would never ever own. Okay, it's one of those knickknacks that just drives you nuts. You know, you're looking at it and you're going, what am I going to do with this? Like fish cod perfume, or like a singing camel, or those baskets with the cheese and the sausages, but you're so stinking embarrassed about it that you don't give them a thank you card, you know? And it's not like you can put it away or throw it in the trash along with the other wrappings and pieces of plastic and bubble tape and all that other stuff. No, you have to keep it in your house. So you've got this haunting, like fish cod sandwich, you know, that's rotting, fleshly, right? And you have nothing, you can't do anything with it. It's like the people are more impressed with their gift. So they tend on coming over to your house, you know, and they're looking for their gift. Like, where's the fish cod sandwich? The global warming duck? Where's the laughing Santa? Merry Christmas. And they show up and they're like, hey, where's the laughing? And you can do one of two things. You can either lie, which is not really the moral thing you should be doing. You could sit there and say, oh, our house burned and it was destroyed, or our dog ripped it up because he thought it was a red and white squirrel, you know, laughing. The dog was more annoyed with it.
Okay, you get the idea. We won't watch all 10 minutes of the rant. To be merciful to you. Okay, so these last two videos, what do you think? This is a little bit harder to get. But what did the two, both Ralphie and the guy ranting, what did they have in common? They were unappreciative about their gifts, right? Because the season was about them getting something out of it. And so this is going to be the central theme of what I want to talk about. So let's start out, like I said, and give you guys a little taste of this idea of community and family, or sharing the story. If you have ever had an experience in your life of this kind of consumerist Christmas, of it being about what you're going to get, and then not being grateful, could you share that story with your partner right now? I'll give you 5 minutes, one to share and the other one to share. Make sure you add some detail in there. Where either somebody wasn't grateful or Christmas was just about getting something. Cameron James. everybody done? Okay, I'm going to tell mine first because I can't ask you to do something I'm not willing to do myself, right? Every Christmas, my brother and I would run downstairs as early as we could, and we'd look at all of our presents. Mom would put them out in the middle of the night. It wasn't. Do you know how I discovered it wasn't Santa?
Yeah.
When I was 10, my mom said, Andrew, go up and get the presents. And, oh, this one's from Santa Claus.
No,
yeah, so we'd run down and we'd count our presents right away. And the biggest thing, it was a competition to see who would get the most. We literally count our presents. And then, like, if my brother would have gotten more than me, I would, like, check the size of mine. And then if I had bigger ones, I'd, like, multiply. And that one's, like, really big, so that counts as 2. It was like a competition. It was like, who could get the biggest piece of the pie, kind of a thing. And the worst thing was, we would have relatives that would come over. And they wouldn't come over until lunchtime. Until lunchtime. It's like 4 or 5 hours. Then we had to eat lunch first. And then we'd sit down and we'd open the presents one by one in order from youngest to oldest. We'd each open one present, then we'd open another present. And this was torture. It was torture. Because all we wanted to get was what was in the boxes. And we didn't care about what other people were getting, and I didn't care about the fact those other people weren't there. So I have to admit, I didn't really get it when I was younger. Now you guys are going to share your stories, but you're going to share your partner's story. Because a lot of times we don't like to talk about ourselves. And you don't all have to share. We'll just take like 3 or 4. Now you have to remember the details. Were you actually listening to the other person? Are you actually having an encounter with them and listening and enjoying them, relating to them? Okay, who wants to go first? Yeah.
So, Andrew's my partner, and it's one Christmas. She got up in the morning and she was looking at all the presents underneath the tree. Then she sees this one, and then she's wondering what's inside the box. So she has to wait until it's time to open Christmas presents. She finally gets this box. She opens it up. She looks in the box. She's like, oh, it's a purse. And Andrew doesn't really carry purses, so she's okay kind of picking this purse. And she looks at it, and it's this really ugly ring. It's got a cast on it, and she likes it because it's from her mom, and she
So it's kind of like the bunny suit. Did they make you carry it around?
No, they didn't raise me. I just asked it like I did dinner.
Let's take a couple more.
Charlie shared about one Christmas, last Christmas, or maybe 10 Christmases ago. he wanted a particular TV video game, and he got like a billion other games, but not that one. Despite that he had a billion other good games, he was still disappointed he didn't get the one he wanted. Until 2 days later.
I got the same thing.
Oh, the same thing. He knows that part. He went to the store the very same day, Christmas Day, and bought the one he wanted.
But the point was that I was too selfish that I wasn't grateful for all the other things I had. I still had a great time, but that like the fact that I was selfish wasn't right.
You want your father back now? Did you put you on the spot?